When you think of Greece, you might immediately think of the Greek gods or the Odyssey, or if you're me, you think of centaurs. However, if we move away from mythology, when you think of Greek food, some of the things you might think of are things like olives, or feta cheese, or olive oil. However, today we're going to take a look at the Greek seafood. Now, Greece is surrounded by a large amount of water. This is obvious from any map of Greece you can find. It is even said that no place is further than about 85 to 90 miles away from the coastline. So, seafood is obviously going to play a large part in the people's diet. This is even true in the ancient times, so there's not a lot to go over on the history-wise. However, because of how popular seafood is, especially with the steep incline when the tour season hits, which the peak hits around July and goes through August, seafood has become a bit less abundant, I guess would be the closest thing I could say. The closest sea being the Aegean Sea, apologies if I mispronounced that, can no longer keep up for the supply and demand of seafood, which means the seafood can be really expensive, costing you a small fortune. Luckily, many blogs have provided some inexpensive seafood items you can get as well. One of these fishes are squid. While the frozen variety will typically come from places like California or China, when it's in season, the servers will always tell you. Usually the squid is served grilled or fried whole. Another cheap seafood option is what they called Taramasalata. While it looks like a squid, it's apparently not a squid, though it seems to be in the same family, when it's served the same way as squid is. Cuttlefish and octopus are also a large part of Greek seafood. One of the most expensive fishes you can get in Greece, however, is lobster. Though there's something kind of interesting I want everyone to note about the lobsters from around there. Now here's the typical image of a lobster you would find here in the States, like at a Red Lobster restaurant or something. Now here's one you might find in the Mediterranean Sea. Notice something's missing? They don't have any claws. So a few travel blogs I read while researching this topic, they say don't get the lobsters in Greece, and save the money for the ones in the States. They also apparently taste very different than those in the States, but they say it's a bit of a lackluster taste. Now, something you should definitely note about the cost of eating seafood in Greece is that the fish itself is sold based on portion, or per kilo. So when you get seafood, you should always ask your server, what is the price of this fish today in per kilo? Otherwise, you might end up with a nasty surprise when you get that bill. Now to finish this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about one of the fish dishes I found while researching this topic that I kind of found interesting. A lot of Greece seafood is grilled, or it's fried, or it's served in a stew, but this one instead is called Taramasalata. Try to say that 3 times fast. And again, sorry if I mispronounced it. Basically, what this is the kir roe, or if I remember this correctly, it's the eggs of a cod, carp, or gray mullet, mixed together with, at least in the recipe I'm using for this video, almonds, potatoes, and onions that have been run through the meat grinder. Put the mixture into a stand mixer with the paddle attachment, and add some lemon juice after mixing it on the setting of 2. Now, then you add corn oil. I imagine if you would be making this in Greece, it would be olive oil instead, until that mixture resembles that of light mashed potatoes. Now, on occasion when you get this, it will be a very bright pink. That's because they added a lot of food coloring, and the products are not of the highest quality. So stay away from the pink. So I think that's what I'm going to end it here with. There's lack of seafood at the moment because of popular eating. Squid, cuttlefish, and the mysterious fish, I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, are very inexpensive. It's cost per kilo, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going to end that here. Thank you for watching this video.
Was the fairest of them all. She was born in the month of Gemini.